now we're going to focus is at the apical meristematic. So we're going to discuss as to what we call apical meristematic tissue. So you have to know, you already know that apical meristematic tissue, they are what? They are actively divided and they do not have specific rules. So what are the location of meristematic tissue? So where do we find this meristematic tissue? So this meristematic tissue, we find them at the what? At the tip of the roots. At the tip of the roots, we find this meristematic tissue, but not only at the tip of the roots, also at the what? We find them at the tip of the stem, also at the tip of the stem. We found this meristematic. Also at the tip of our what? At the tip of our stems, we found this meristematic tissue. So let's describe the structure of this meristematic tissue. So the structure of this meristematic tissue is that these cells that you are seeing here, we are seeing it under the microscope. They are very, very, very small in size. Their size are very, very small. Also, and also if you can see now, the cell wall are thin. Maybe they are made up of one layer. So they have a cell wall that is very thin. Maybe it is made up of the what? Of only one layer. So the shape of this cell that make meristematic tissue, that make apical stemmatic tissue, they are cubed in shape. They make a what? As you can see now, this shape is the what? It's a cubed shape. They have cubed shape. So they're cubed shape. So if you look carefully at their what? At their nuclear, this large black dot or the blue dot, it is the nuclear. This nuclear is very large. Is very large. They have a large nuclear. And also the cells are pegged next to each other in such a way that between the cells there is no what? There is no space. So we don't have a space between the cells. So no intracellular space. So there is no intracellular space. There's no what we call intracellular space here. What are the function of this meristematic tissue? So why this meristematic tissue are very important? Function of this meristematic tissue. This meristematic tissue, they are primarily play a big role in the what? In the length of the what? Of the of the of the plants. If the plants grow taller, it's due to this meristematic tissue. So they play a major role in a primary growth of the tree. Primary growth of the tree. So they play a major role. So the primary role of the tree, we are talking about the what? We are talking about the length of the tree. Whether the tree will be tall or short is because of this meristematic tissue. Let's look at another type of the what? Of meristematic tissue. So the other type of meristematic tissue is what we call a what? Lateral meristematic tissue. It's what we call lateral meristematic tissue. Also, this lateral meristematic tissue, they are known as a what? We and the name is cambium. We call it a cambium. This is the other name of the meristematic tissue. So we must know where do we find this meristematic tissue. We have to identify their what? Their location. Where do we find this tissue? So this tissue, they are found between two vascular tissue, which are what? Which are our xylem and also our phloem. So they are found between xylem and also a phloem. This is the location of this cambium, or what we call lateral meristematic tissue. So let's look at their what? As their structure. Their structure are similar to the what? Are they similar to one of the apical meristematic tissue. But the difference is this: these cells now, if you can look at it, they are elongated. They're elongated. They are flatter. They're flat, like a what? Like a mat, like a hardcover. They're flat, but their length is very elongated, meaning they have a what? Elongated uh cells. Their cells are elongated, meaning they make a what? Vertical column. They make a vertical column, so they are what? We say they are elongated. They're like a what? They're like a, a rectangular, a large rectangular in shape. So if we can look their cell wall, we say the cell wall of the what? Of the apical meristematic tissue, they are what? They are thin. But this one of the lateral meristematic tissue, they are thick. They have many layer to make sure that this cell wall is very thick. They are thick cell wall, so the cell wall is very thick as compared to what? To of apical meristematic. So what are the primary function or the role of this lateral meristematic tissue? So the function of this meristematic tissue is responsible for the secondary growth, or they are responsible for the thickness of the what? Thickness of the stem. Thickness of stem, to make sure that the stem grow what? Grow laterally. So if you have the stem, the radius of our stem at the first year was like this. As time goes on, you must find out the stem grow to be large, to be thick. The stem of the big tree is what? Is very large as compared to of the small tree. Is because of the what? Is because of this lateral meristematic tissue.